Hey, oh boy, wow. What a show, what a show, what a show. What a show. Name my topic tonight is called Bedlam, Brutality, and Backwords in Birmingham, Alabama. Is SummerSlam 2025 going to be worth watching? But before I do, I'm going to show a little bit of music. I'm the Godfather Soldier and Slim, and I'm open show with a little bit of music. Um, Waterfalls by TLC. So stick around, be right back, break down my review, and I'll be right back. Wow. Yep. Waterfalls by TLC, number one hit single from 1995. Okay, so let's get the show started tonight. And like I said, the name of my topic tonight is called Bedlam, Brutality, and Backwords in Birmingham, Alabama. Is SummerSlam going to be worth watching? Okay, here we go. Then now together, then now forever together, WWE leads us into the show. Highlights from Saturday night's main event in WWE Evolution. Some of the significant events that occurred were the retirement of Goldberg and Naomi cashing in a running bank briefcase to defeat Io Sky to win the Raw Women's Championship, which is bullshit. But she's on SmackDown, not Raw. And now we're gonna have ourselves a little draft coming up in September. We'll see a shot of MetLife Stadium in 19 nights. It will be the first ever two-night SummerSlam, just like they did with WrestleMania. Pre-show arrivals: smiling World Heavyweight Champion Gunther is shown arriving at the arena. Main event Jey Uso is in the building, and then CM Punk, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Summer Paul Heyman are shown arriving without the arrogant Seth Rollins. He has his leg injured. The WWE drone flies us into the Legacy Arena. Raw Women's World Champion, the bitch ass Naomi addresses her Money in the Bank cash in. Raw Women's World Champion, it's a good thing I pressed mute tonight and let's listen what this bitch has to say. This bitch ass. Raw Women's World Champion Naomi heads to the ring. She is fired up. Naomi cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase in the middle of a classic match between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. The crowd chants "You deserve it," which is stupid. Because it's really stupid because they're biased. They're biased. They're really biased. They're really biased against newcomers. The fans are really biased against the newcomers and all the stuff saying that you deserve it because it's really stupid because she's Nami is old news. She's just a veteran. She's a veteran like all the other veterans, like Charlotte, Becky, and all the rest. I understand why in the world they're cheering. This is why WWE is not like you speed me. I don't know why in the world they're cheering for heels. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, this wasn't like this back in real wrestling back in the 80s and 90s. I don't know why in the world they're cheering I mean, well, I guess well, was she a popular heel or something? I mean, I don't know why in the world they want someone saying chant. They want to chant for a woman who did some terrible things. I mean, she tried to put not Bianca Belair out of action. I mean, now Jade Cargill out of action and all that shit. I don't know why in the world fans chanting "You deserve it." The only reason, like the other reason why they're acting like they don't know that the reason why she didn't want to cash in on why she came from SmackDown to Raw, cashing in on Io Sky and Rhea on Raw because they acting like she don't know she's a coward, like she doesn't want to cash in on Tiffy and Tiffy time and Trish Stratus because she's afraid of them. That's why she didn't want to cash in on them. They pulled a real swerve on us, so it was a real stupid move. Naomi says she doesn't want to hear that. They weren't feeling the glow, but they are feeling her now. And who gives a shit? Gives a shit? Nobody gonna give a shit. They're sitting there acting like they knew this was coming. I did. They thought she would cash in on Tiffany Stratton, but no one knows her next move until she makes it. That's why she's standing here as a new Raw Women's World Champion. So she's done with the foolishness going on SmackDown. Naomi tells Bianca Belair to look at this title. She didn't betray Belair, she outgrew her. Well, let me say about this, Naomi. Bullshit. Bullshit. Why don't you look in the damn mirror, bitch? Why don't you look in the damn mirror? Because you were jealous. Because you were jealous of Jade Cargill since she came to WWE. So stop blaming Jade. Stop blaming Jade. Stop blaming Bianca. And take a deep look at yourself, bitch. You did, because you did betray Bianca Belair by putting Jade Cargill out of action. Everybody knew you were a coward. Everybody knew you're a damn coward. Everybody knew you were a coward because that's why you cashed in on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I think you know you can't beat, because the reason why you cashed, in my opinion, the only reason why she cashed in on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, because Io Sky and Rhea Ripley from Raw, because you're afraid of Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton. You knew without a shadow of doubt you can't beat them. That's why you cashed in on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley last night. Makes no sense. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill didn't want her to succeed. They wanted her to be a flunky as long as it's okay with them. Naomi asks, who's got the upper hand now, bitches? And look at her bitch ass cackling. Cargill may have forgotten her look at Evolution, but Naomi made history. Bullshit. She may be new to Raw, but all those raggedy heifers in the Raw locker room are advised to proceed with caution. Who cares, Naomi? Who cares? Go ahead. You can go ahead and you can go ahead and bully all. You can bully all the Raw roster. You just go. Let's go have you go up to Triple H, the CEO Triple H. Let's have you go to Raw GM Adam Pearce and Ari Emanuel CEO Nick Khan and have you act like a bullying bitch ass egotistical hoe like you were before when you were Team Bad along with Mercedes Sasha Banks, who's now Mercedes one in AEW, and Tamina, who's retired. This is my brutality. A fierce Rhea Ripley comes to the stage. Ripley walks down to the ring and stares at Naomi, and she gets in the ring. Naomi looks unimpressed. Naomi is sporting a cut on the bridge of her nose from her match with Jade Cargill last night. A mommy chant picks up. Ripley says, there is one thing Naomi should know about her. She is not cautious. Ripley is reckless and pissed. She walked into Evolution with two goals: to defeat Io Sky and reclaim what was rightfully hers, the Raw Women's World Championship. All because of Naomi. She has those two goals. Naomi made it onto her list. Then Io Sky's hits, and the former Women's World Champion heads to the ring. An Io Sky chant picks up. Sky tells Ripley, with respect, to get in line. She walked to Evolution as the Women's World Champion, so she'll get her title back from Naomi. Naomi says she doesn't understand what Sky just said, but they can get their entire asses out of her face into the back of the line. Ripley steps to Naomi. Raw GM Adam Pearce walks out to the stage before this gets out of hand. He wants them to take a deep breath. He has something he wants to say to all three of them. First, he congratulates Naomi, the bitch ass, on winning the on winning the title and welcomes her to Monday Night Raw. Last night she had the biggest moment of her professional career. That moment came at the expense of Rhea Ripley and Sky, but he has to say it. Their match at Evolution was absolutely magic. Well, I don't know if I can agree with that. The crowd gives them a huge ovation. In 3 weeks, they're at SummerSlam. It'll be the first two-night SummerSlam in WWE history. That means bigger than ever. The attractions, box office, and magic need to be bigger. They need to blow the proverbial roof off the MetLife Stadium. It will be Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Naomi for the Women's World Championship. They will make magic at SummerSlam. Naomi holds the title up for the Raw Women's World Championship. They will make magic at SummerSlam. Naomi holds the title up and stares at her next opponents. This is, I mean, this we all, everybody knows, we all know Naomi's gonna cheat to win and shit like that. She really buried Io Sky. She buried Rhea Ripley at Evolution, and we all know she'll bury them again at SummerSlam next month. It's just like the WWE is obsessed with veterans, not younger talent. I don't know why in the world they want to push Naomi when she's a veteran. Skank. Tonight on Raw, Nikki Bella will battle Chelsea Green. This will be Bella's first singles match in 7 years. We also see Lyra Valkyrie battle Bayley at a 2-out-3 Falls match. The winner will face Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam 2025. With Judgment Day Clubhouse, Finn Balor is holding all the titles out academy by Judgment Day. Balor hands of Dirty Dum Dum his Intercontinental Championship and says he was whipping it to keep it warm for him. Mysterio says he hasn't been able to relax because AJ Styles has been stalking him. Balor says as long as Mysterio has his doctor's note, he's untouchable. Balor says they need to give their full support in the biggest winners for the weekend, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Perez gives all the credit to Rodriguez. Rodriguez says Perez stepped up like she said. Balor says she's heard about Kabuki Warriors and is worried. He tells Mysterio to accompany them to the ring tonight. Mysterio asks why he has to. Balor says it's time to show the world their strength. You also need to keep their titles for Liv Morgan. Balor hands the tag titles to JD McDonald. Balor looks at a picture of Liv Morgan and smiles successfully for Liv. Now I'm gonna I'll go with Finn Balor for this one because I feel like somehow when Liv Morgan comes back, WWE's gonna make her the babyface, and she won't be happy how Dirty Dum Dum is going putting all the moves on Roxanne Perez. But let me remind you that Liv Morgan was jealous of her since she came to Judgment Day, and Finn Balor just wants to ride in Dum Dum, and Dum Dum wants to just ride in Balor's coattails. Now, I don't know, some of the fans want to blame Finn Balor, but all you all of you should blame Liv Morgan and Dirty Dum Dum. And if they WWE, I feel like WWE somehow you're gonna have set up a little feud between Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, and then somehow WWE won't I'm trying to have Liv Morgan bury Roxanne Perez somehow, and shit on her because WWE shouldn't be trusted because they already did, because I know somehow Liv Morgan will bury Roxanne Perez just like they did. They had Becky Lynch bury Lyra Valkyrie for the Intercontinental title. In the ring, the Kabuki Warriors head to the ring. They take on WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez in a non-title match next. Commercial break. Non-tag team title match. The Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez with the Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum. Referee is Danilo and Fabio. Raquel Rodriguez will start the match against Kairi Sane. Sane quickly applies the wrist lock before avoiding an elbow and avoiding a back elbow. Sane hits the ropes and goes for a satellite DDT, but Rodriguez shoves her off and hits a shoulder tackle. Asuka tags in, grabs the arm. Rodriguez shoves her away. Asuka grabs the arm again, but Rodriguez lifts her. Asuka counters with a sleeper hold. Rodriguez quickly backs her into a corner. Roxanne tags quickly backs her into a corner, and Roxanne Perez tags in. Perez hits the ropes and hits a head scissor into a side leg sweep for a 2 count. Perez stands Asuka up and slaps her in the face. Asuka nods her head before getting fired up. Asuka punches and kicks away at Roxanne Perez before kicking her in the face a few times. Sane tags back in. Kabuki Warriors double team takedown drop kick combo for a 1 count. Sane throws Perez in the corner and chops the chest. Sane hits a running basement forearm to Perez for a 2 count. WWE Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dum Dum saunters around ringside, Perez drops Zane on the apron, and Zane drops Zane on the apron. Zane tries for a sunset flip, but Perez stomps her. Rodriguez tags in, but Zane quickly catches her with an armbar. Perez runs in, but Asuka locks her in an armbar. Rodriguez powers Zane up and power bombs her onto Asuka. Zane won't let go, so Rodriguez slams her into the ropes. Commercial break. Back from break, Zane hits a modified stunner on Rodriguez. Perez quickly tags in, so Zane hits an enziguri. Asuka quick tags in and kicks away at Perez. Perez reverses a whip into the ropes, so Asuka hits Rodriguez with a hip attack. Asuka then takes Perez down. Asuka kicks Perez in the corner before hitting Rodriguez with a super kick. Asuka hits a knee to Perez before connecting with a Shining Wizard for a 2 count. Asuka wrenches the arm and tags Zane in. Asuka holds Perez, but Perez fights out. Asuka still has her, and Zane hits a double axe handle for a 1-2. Perez breaks it up, and Asuka pulls up the top rope to get Rodriguez out of the ring. Asuka tags in, Perez reverses a whip to the corner. Asuka sidesteps her, and Zane tags in. The Kabuki Warriors hit a double team reverse DDT on DDT and Zane elbow combo. Mysterio is distracting the referee, so the count is delayed. 1-2. Rodriguez pulls Zane out of the ring and attacks her. Zane fights Rodriguez and sends her into a ring post. Asuka tags in and goes for a top rope for a missile dropkick on Perez. Asuka hits a nasty strike combo, followed by a German suplex. Mysterio gets on the apron, so Asuka eliminates him with a backhand. Perez rolls Asuka up, and Mysterio pushes her against the baseball slide for leverage. Wins by pinfall, Women's Tag Team Champions Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Kabuki Warriors are infuriated, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being pissed off. Jackie Redman is with WWE Hall of Famer and the Fat Walrus Paul Heyman, who is holding Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase. Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed. Redman mentions that Seth Rollins is in Birmingham to get his injured knee evaluated. Does Heyman have an update? Heyman says he has no information. It's too soon. Seth Rollins says until next June to cash in a Money in the Bank briefcase until he's creating into that deadline. Rollins' health is not a relevant subject. What is relevant subject is that Braun Breaker will run the gauntlet. Tonight, Braun Breaker will emerge as number 1 contender and punch his ticket to SummerSlam. Breaker will go on to SummerSlam to defeat Gunther and become the next World Heavyweight Champion. Next World Heavyweight Champion of the world. And I really don't give a crap about them right now at this point, despite the fact I'm not no fan of Seth. Hope the piece of shit gets well. Hope the asshole gets well soon with his leg. George Kittle of San Francisco 49ers attacked Miz at a golf outing. Jackie Roman asked Lyra Valkyria about her match against Bayley. Valkyria says this match will put an end to Bayley talk and get her back to Becky Lynch. After the match, Redmond can ask about her upcoming SummerSlam match. Bayley walks up. Whoever loses this match will go back in the line. Valkyria says it's always about Bayley. Bayley says what's best for Valkyrie is to stay the hell out of her way. Well, Bayley is dead wrong about this. Here we go, 2-hour free falls match. Bayley versus Lyra Valkyrie. Referee is Chad Patton. They get locked up. Valkyrie takes her down with a headlock. Bayley fights up and whips her off, but Valkyrie quickly takes her down with a front face lock. Bayley fights up and pushes her off again. But Valkyrie grabs her head. Bayley backs her in the corner and puts her in the top rope before patting her on the head. Valkyrie is not happy. Valkyrie hits a pair of arm drags before leaping frogging her and sending her out of the ring. Bayley is frustrated. Bayley gets in the ring, but Valkyrie ducks a clothesline and hits a hip toss. Valkyrie pats her on the head, so Bayley slaps her in the face and rolls her up to win the first fall. Bayley leads a series 1-0 zip. Commercial break. Back from the break, Valkyria and Bayley are holding each other by the arm, exchanging strikes. Valkyrie connects with a step-up enziguri, followed by a pair of clotheslines and some kicks to the face. Valkyrie drop kicks her with a spinning kick and attempts to tornado DDT. But Bayley slings her away. Bayley charges, but Valkyrie moves and kicks her into the corner. Valkyrie hits a tornado DDT followed by a fisherman suplex for a 2 count. Valkyrie gets herself fired up and starts to stomp Bayley in the corner. Bayley fights back and whips Valkyrie hard into the corner. Valkyrie immediately collapses in pain. Bayley smiles and sees the opening. Bayley takes her back and picks her up for a near fall. Bayley whips her hard in the corner again and Valkyrie falls to her knees. Bayley sweeps the feet, but Valkyrie kicks her away. Bayley rolls out of the ring. Valkyrie holds her back and she hits the ropes and hits a wrecking ball drop kick. Valkyrie goes to the apron and pulls Bayley up by the hair. Bayley fights back and hits a high angle back suplex on the apron. Bayley gets in the ring and hits a swinging sidewalk slam. 1-2. Valkyrie kicks out. Bayley attempts a loud maggot straw, but Valkyrie counters and sits down on Bayley's shoulders to pick up the victory. Series tied 1-1. Bayley is pissed off. Get pissed off she wants. Valkyrie is struggling to get to her feet. Valkyrie angle kicks her in the face and covers for a 2 count. Commercial break. Back from break, Valkyrie hits a dragon screw to Bayley. Bayley quickly sends her to the apron and snaps her off the second rope. Valkyrie rolls her up, but Bayley rolls through and her knees in her mouth. Valkyrie limps to Valkyrie and goes for a whip, but Valkyrie stops it. Valkyrie elbows Bayley out of Bayley to belly and goes for a monkey flip. Bayley holds her up and turns her into a top rope. Valkyrie knocks Bayley away and jumps, but Bayley counters with a belly to belly. 1-2. Valkyrie Bayley kicks out. The crowd chants, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Bayley heads to the top rope, but Valkyrie sweeps the feet. Valkyrie climbs to the second rope and goes for a suplex. Bayley fights her off. Valkyrie gets up and attacks Bayley before hitting a sit-out slam off the top rope. But Valkyrie sweeps the feet. Valkyrie climbs to the second rope, goes for a suplex, but Bayley fights her off. Valkyrie gets up and attacks Bayley before hitting a sit-out slam off the top rope. Valkyrie hits a nasty gut wrench to sit-out powerbomb. It nearly lands Bayley on her head for a near fall. Valkyrie holds her head in frustration. Valkyrie grabs Bayley's legs, but Bayley kicks her away. Bayley puts Bayley on the apron, but Bayley pulls her out with her. Bayley goes for a back suplex, but Valkyrie holds the ropes. Valkyrie grabs the leg and uppercuts the knee joint. Valkyrie twists the middle rope and connects with a fisherman suplex on the apron. Bayley falls to the floor. Valkyrie goes to grab her, but Bayley kicks her away and gets in the ring. Valkyrie soon gets in the ring, and Bayley holds her up for a 2 count. Valkyria connects with a jackknife cover, but Bayley kicks out. Bayley holds her knee in pain. Bayley charges, but Valkyrie twists through the ropes to avoid her. Bayley knocks her to the floor and slaps her leg. Valkyrie goes to hit a sliding dropkick through the corner, but Valkyrie catches her. Bayley kicks her away. It's a sunset flip to the steps. Valkyrie hits the steel steps hard, but Bayley goes to the top rope and connects with his driving elbow to Valkyrie's head. Valkyrie's bad back. 1-2, Valkyrie kicks out. Bayley immediately transitions into a crossface and pulls the back as hard as she can. Valkyrie screams in pain and claws at the bottom of the rope. Valkyrie kicks the bottom rope and rolls her back, but Valkyrie rolls out of the ring and hits a Nightwing 1-2. 3. 1-2, 3. Bam. Winning by pinfall, Lyra Valkyrie 2 out of 2 to 1. Looks like Valkyrie is going to SummerSlam and challenge the man whore Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Valkyrie celebrates the ring as a devastated and dejected Bayley sits at ringside. Well, your old news, Bayley. It's 2025, not 2015. Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man Becky Lynch heads to the ring and gets in Valkyrie's face, holding up her championship. I bet you, I bet you this is what can happen. I bet you somehow, in the at SummerSlam match between Bayley, between the man whore Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyrie, there's gonna be some interference. Bayley will go back as a heel again just because she's butthurt because she can't beat because she knows Lyra Valkyrie's the better woman. She's gonna turn heel and cost and screw Lyra Valkyrie as the Intercontinental title and align herself with the man whore Becky Lynch, and we'll see like a little horseman reunion, form an alliance. And that's gonna be complete bullshit, I bet you. I bet you. And she's gonna turn heel. She's gonna explain why she turned on Lyra Valkyrie and cost Becky the Intercontinental title, and she's gonna make some excuses and make some justifications. She needs to just look in the mirror and stuff like that. I mean, why don't you she just give Lyra a break? I mean, she's probably jealous of Lyra because she's probably jealous of Lyra because she's the new thing around in WWE or in something to women's wrestling and shit like that. But who cares? She can go be butthurt all she wants. Bayley. Stephanie Becerra emerges victorious in the women's battle royal at WWE Evolution. Backstage interview. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Stephanie Becerra. Becerra says she came to WWE to become a champion. In Paris, she will become a champion. Redmond says Becerra will compete for the Women's World Championship at Clash in Paris. And knowing Chelsea Green walks up with a secret harvest, Green walks up and says she should represent WWE in Paris. According to Green, La Primavera means loser. Chelsea Green means winner. Becerra tells her to take her best shot. Green says she'd love to, but she's facing WWE Hall of Famer. For now, Becerra can look, but she can't touch. So, hold on a second. Okay, this commercial break. This Friday on SmackDown, undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Champion John Cena and American Nightmare Cole Rose will be under one roof. See a video. Karen Cross says, "Your favorite bad guys are here to save the day. Where's Sami Zayn? He's hurt." Scarlett says Zayn is a liar. Cross thinks so too. All this talk about who is a coward falls flat. Zayn is nowhere to be seen. Cross says, "My ass." Cross says he gave Zayn an ultimatum he didn't like and has folded. Cross tells Zayn to stay at home and never come back to work until he's ready to say that to Cross. That Cross told the truth. Well, be better watch care what you wish for, Karrion. Zayn is coming for you. Next, we have this match in Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green with Secret Harvest, Alba Fyre, and Piper Niven, and referee Jessica Carr. Bell, the bell rings and lock up. Bella pushes her off and smiles. They lock up again. And Bella powers her into the ropes before giving a clean break. They lock up a third time, and Bella whips her away and rolls her up for a 1 count. Bella takes her down, so Green slaps her in the face. Bella is fierce and chases her to the corner. Green gets a cheap shot in and clubs the back. Green sends Bella into the ropes, but Bella hits her to take over. Bella sacks Green and mocks the salute. Yeah, I don't know why they gave Chelsea Green this stupid American game when she's a Canadian. I don't blame Nikki for mocking salute. She's at least she's American, but not Chelsea Green. Green's Canadian, and Nikki Bella's American. Bella connects with a snap suplex, but Green rolls out of the ring to recover with a Secret Harvest. Piper Niven and Alba Fyre step between Bella and Green to keep Bella back. They get in the ring, and Green sends Bella to the corner. Bella elbows her back and climbs to the middle rope. Green sweeps the feet and hits a backstabber off the ropes. Bella rolls out of the ring and holds her neck. Green takes a moment before going outside and driving Nikki Bella headfirst to the barricade. Green gets her into the ring and slams her face into the mat for a 2 count. Green digs her knee in the spine of Nikki Bella and pulls her back into her head. Bella tries to fight back, but Green slings her down and applies a rear chin lock. Bella fights back and elbows out, but Green pulls her hair. Bella smashes Green's face off her knee. Green slowly gets up and charges, but Bella ducks a clothesline and hits a pair of clotheslines. But Bella whips her in the corner and hits a corner clothesline. Bella goes for a second rope and hits a flying kick. The skull for a near fall. Bella fights back and hits a net breaker for a 2 count. Green sets up for an prettier, but Bella counters into a Bella buster. Devin sets up, gets on the apron to distract the referee. Alba Fyre gets on the apron and grabs Bella. Bella slams her into the ring post and knocks Niven off the apron. Green grabs Bella and goes for the prettier. Bella counters out and tries to lift her, but Green elbows out. Bella hits a nasty rack attack 2.0 for the win. Win by pinfall, Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella avalanches Bella and throws her into the fire for a super kick. Fire then whips Bella into Niven for a boss man slam. The Harvest pulls Green up, but Stephanie Becerra runs down. Becerra attacks Fire and gets in the ring to drop kick Niven. Fire runs in, but Becerra drops her with a double underhit facebuster. Becerra embraces Bella. Okay, this was Backwords. Despite the fact that I'm not no fan of Nikki Bella, I mean Chelsea Green, but this match was kind of backwards. Chelsea Green might be a little arrogant, but this match was backwards. And yeah, Nikki buried Chelsea Green in this match. Little. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is backstage with the morning of New Day, with the morning New Day and Grayson Waller. Xavier Woods says they are in the third stage of grief and are ready to bargain. Waller shows off some toupees for Pearce. Kofi Kingston says they are real human hair. So when did they get their titles back? Pearce says they don't just get a rematch, but they'll have an opportunity to compete for a title shot next week. Until then, he advises them to not flip their wigs before knocking the toupees over. Pearce walks over to the Judgment Day. They're preparing to leave the building. Pearce says Dirty Dum Dum was moving smoothly out there before. Mysterio says it was adrenaline in the soul. Mysterio produces his note, doctor's note. Pearce says he called the WWE medical. Mysterio will be reevaluated. If he is not cleared, then he hasn't been cleared. If he is cleared, Pearce will immediately make an Intercontinental Championship match against Judgment Day against AJ Styles at SummerSlam. The Judgment Day reassures that Mysterio walks off. Mysterio returns, and we see AJ Styles praying before motioning that he has his eyes on Mysterio. Mysterio prays to God to not let Styles hurt him. Backstage segment. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther is face to face with Penta before walking off. We hear from Gunther next. Commercial break. Logan Paul is impulsive. He is joining WWE's podcast lineup. Locker room interview. Jackie Redmond is in the locker room with Rusev. She congratulates Rusev on winning that hard-hitting match against Sheamus. Where does he hope from here? Rusev says people call him a god, but maybe he's a saint casting out snakes. Sheamus knows Rusev better than him. Sheamus walks up and says he is not here to attack him. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce agrees that Rusev is a cheating bastard. So they'll have a rematch. That was an appetizer. Rusev gets ready for the main course. Rusev says he is here to dominate gold, not gingers. Wow. He's referring to Sheamus, who's ginger, because he's Irish. Wow. Pretty offensive. Commentaries run down the SummerSlam card so far. Jelly Roll and Logan Paul get into it at Saturday night's main event, distracting Drew McIntyre, costing him a match against Randy Orton. Jelly Roll will save Orton from Paul, so McIntyre hit the Music Superstar for a Claymore kick. This Wednesday, Jelly Roll will host Jimmy Kimmel Live and feature Randy Orton as a guest on the show. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther addresses retiring Goldberg and what's next for him. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther heads to the ring. Gunther says he is in a great mood. This past Saturday, he retired Bill Goldberg. The Like Goldberg chant picks up. Gunther says the people aren't here to hear. It says the people here aren't the brightest, but Gunther is here tonight. He's not coming back because he kept every promise before he made before the match. He bullied and pushed around, blew up, and choked him into and choked him at the end of the myth. Bill Goldberg, a "You Tapped Out" chant begins to pick up. Gunther has one question: who's next for the ring general Gunther? We'll have an answer soon. The next moment, he'll take a seat in the nice suite of the 5 of the cutest competitors in WWE today. He will compete for his amusement, and it will identify who will be the official challenger for the ring. Ring general Gunther. At SummerSlam, Gunther doesn't care about who the winner is. When that bell rings, they're all the same. Braun Breaker heads to the ring with Paul Heyman behind him. Heyman is in the ring carrying Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase. They get in the ring and Heyman looks for a handshake. Gunther obliges. Heyman starts to do his usual introduction, but Gunther cuts him off. Gunther says he is not interested in what Heyman has to say, so he's going to leave now. Breaker stands in Gunther's way. Heyman tells him to stick around because it pertains to Gunther. Tonight, Breaker will run the gauntlet, will come the #1 contender and go on to SummerSlam to beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther says he knows it's not an easy task because he saw what Gunther did to Goldberg on Saturday at Saturday's main event. However, Gunther has been speared until he's been speared by Breaker. Breaker is the next big thing. Next big thing. Breaker is the next big dog. This is Braun Breaker's yard. Gunther is looking for just another contender. He's a Steiner. Heyman says that means he'll break through every barrier that's put in front of him. Break through the glass of the ceiling of WWE and break Gunther's ass at SummerSlam. There's going to be a new World Heavyweight Champion, long-term one. His name is Braun Breaker. Breaker steps aside for Gunther to leave. Gunther doesn't look impressed until as he walks off. The CM Punk chunk fires up. The gauntlet match is next. Okay, here we go. Gauntlet match. I don't know why I didn't do the fatal four-way to match in that commercial break. We're gonna go to commercial break. #1 contenders gauntlet match. Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman versus Penta. Referees Eddie Rango. Bell rings and Penta starts to clap to get the crowd going. Penta attacks Breaker and stomps away in the corner. Penta is fired up before heading back to Breaker. Breaker quickly grabs him and hits a T-bone suplex without leaving his feet. Breaker hits some shoulder thrusts in the corner. Breaker sends him into the ropes, but Penta ducks a clothesline and hits a scissor takeover. Breaker puts Penta on the apron, but Penta knocks him back, heads to the top rope, and hits a diving crossbody black for a 2 count. Penta puts Breaker against the ropes and chops the chest. Breaker hooks a side headlock, so Penta whips him off. Breaker starts to hit the ropes at a ridiculous speed and runs over Penta with a clothesline. Breaker charges, but Penta pulls the top rope to get him out of the ring. Penta hits the top Conhelio as we go to the commercial. Back in the break, we see Penta lying on the steel steps while Breaker smiles. Something bad has happened right before we came back from the break. Breaker then presses Penta over his head and drops him face first onto the steel steps. Breaker gets Penta in the ring and continues to attack. Breaker hits a suplex and covers, rolling off and doing some push-ups. His Uncle Scott was famous for that. Breaker puts Penta on the apron, but Penta fights back with some right hands. Penta snaps his neck off the top rope. Penta gets in the ring and Breaker drops him with a T-bone suplex for a 2 count. World Heavyweight Champion Gunther is shown watching this match from a suite. Breaker applies a rear chin lock before hitting another T-bone suplex. Breaker picks him up and hits the move again. Breaker sets up for a spear and Penta super kicks him and kicks him in the knee. Penta hits a reverse slingshot. Penta kicks him down and hits a hard heads down slingshot in the corner drop kick. Breaker reverses a whip to the corner, but Penta slingshots him over and hits a backstabber on the way down for a 2 count. Penta looks unimpressed by what he's seeing. Penta goes to the corner and sizes Breaker sees a Breaker. Penta charges, but Breaker knees him in the face. Breaker lifts Penta, but Penta slides off. Penta super kicks him and goes for a springboard, but Breaker spears him out of the air for the elimination. Breaker defeats Penta in a gauntlet match. Bullshit. Hell, WWE, what are you guys doing with Penta? What were you people doing with Penta? Breaker smiles with an evil-looking Paul Heyman lurking around the background. They're shitting on Penta, man. This is crap. Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman versus LA Knight. LA Knight gets in the ring and starts to exchange punches with Breaker. Breaker knees in the midsection and sends him to the corner. Knight pops out of the corner with a clothesline, and Knight goes for a suplex, but Breaker blocks it. Knight flips through a suplex and hits Breaker with hits a net breaker. Knight mocks Breaker and stomps him for a 2 count. Breaker wrenches the arm and charges, but Breaker sends him out of the ring. Hold on a second. Hold on one second, everybody. Okay, as I was saying, LA Knight LA Knight gets in the ring and starts to exchange punches with Breaker. Breaker knees him in the midsection and sends him in the corner. Knight pops out of the corner with a clothesline. Knight goes for a suplex, but Breaker blocks it. Knight flips through a suplex and hits a net breaker. Knight mocks Breaker and stomps him in the corner. Stomps him for a 2 count. Knight wrenches the arm and charges, but Breaker sends him out of the ring. Knight quickly attacks him from behind, attacks him at ringside. Drives Breaker's shoulder into the ring post. Breaker attacks him and gets in the ring and presses him, but Breaker's arm is too hurt. Knight clotheslines Breaker over the top rope and connects with a massive baseball slide. Knight bounces off the commentary table cowl. Breaker fights back and drives him ribs first into the table. Knight is hurting. Breaker gets him in the ring and attacks the ribs a bit. We come back from the break to see Breaker punching away at Knight. Breaker chokes him on the middle rope. Knight fights back with some punches before hitting the ropes. But Breaker turns him inside out with a kitchen sink knee to the midsection for a 2 count. Breaker applies a wrist lock and Knight is seated on the canvas. Knight fights up and elbows Breaker in a few times. Knight hits the ropes and they take on each other down with a clothesline. Crowd chants, "This is awesome." LA Knight starts to hit some stinging jabs followed by a clothesline. Knight sends him sternum first into the corner for hits a net breaker following up with a DDT. Knight goes to the top rope and does his taunt and does his jump up, double jump diving elbow drop for a near fall. Knight goes for a blunt trauma, but Breaker pushes him off. Breaker goes for a hurricanrana, but Knight counters into a power bomb for a near fall. Knight lifts Breaker, but Breaker punches out. Knight punches back at him and goes for a BFT, but Breaker rakes the eyes. Breaker hits a double net gutbuster for going to the corner. Knight stumbles around before Breaker cuts him in half with a spear for the win. Braun Breaker defeats LA Knight in the gauntlet match. Terrible. Breaker with Paul Heyman versus main event Jey Uso. Breaker gets it up, holding his ribs, and with a fresh Jey Uso saunters the ring. Uso starts punching away at Braun Breaker and hits a big right hand with some theatrics. Uso then clotheslines Breaker with the over the top before hitting a suicide dive. Uso gets in the ring and has his music start playing before doing more yeeting. Isn't there a match going on? Commercial break. Back from the break, Uso starts fighting out of a suplex attempt and hits a diving crossbody block for a 2 count. Uso hits a running back elbow, followed by a snap kick head. Uso crushes him with a running hip attack to the face with a 2 count. Uso goes for the top rope, but Breaker cuts him off. Uso fights him off, but Breaker scales to the top ropes and hits a Frankensteiner. 1-2, Uso kicks out. Breaker sets up for a spear, but Uso hits him with a super kick. Uso hits a second super kick before hitting a spear. 1-2, Breaker kicks out. Uso goes to the top rope, but Big Bronson Reed pulls him down before snapping him off the top rope. Breaker quickly hits a spear to eliminate the former World Heavyweight Champion. Braun Breaker defeats main event Uso in a gauntlet match. That was shitty. Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman and Big Bronson Reed versus CM Punk. Okay, sorry, a little interruption. This is the final bout of the gauntlet match. Braun Breaker is holding his ribs in pain. Punk gets in the ring and attacks him before hitting a high knee in the corner in a running bulldog. Punk clotheslines Breaker over the top rope and takes off his ring jacket. Commercial break. Back from the break, Punk hits a side leg sweep for a 2 count. Punk whips him hard in the corner. Breaker falls to the canvas and crowd chants, rally chants, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Punk connects with his inverted atomic drop before going to the top rope. Breaker catches him in attempting to driving an axe handle and hits a T-bone suplex. Breaker shoulders Punk in the corner before hitting a running knee to the face. Breaker mocks the CM Punk chants, and Breaker then mocks the clubbering time chant. Breaker grabs the legs and hits the guillotine catapult into a bottom rope. Breaker hits another T-bone suplex, and he slow pace and has a slow pace of this match down. Heyman and Reed look pleased. Breaker connects with a vertical suplex and says, "Easy, Breaker," goes for a 1 count. Breaker applies a chin lock, but Punk fights up and elbows out. Punk goes for the go to sleep, but Breaker slides off and hits a rib Breaker for a 2 count. Breaker continues to talk trash. Breaker sends him to the opposite corner, but Breaker boots him back and goes to the second rope. Breaker catches him with a Frankensteiner, but Punk rolls through and picks up a near fall. A CM Punk chant picks up. Punk rocks Breaker with a kick to the face and falls to the mat. Both men are down. They slowly get up and exchange right hands exhaustively. Punk sends him into the ropes and hits a jumping calf kick. Punk follows up with a swinging neck breaker before hitting a running knee in the corner. Punk follows up with a short arm clothesline. Punk goes up to the top rope, but Reed jumps on the apron. Punk licks Reed away, hits Breaker with a Macho Man elbow drop. 1-2, Breaker kicks out. Punk immediately transitions into an anaconda vice. Reed gets in the ring and breaks up the move with an elbow drop. Reed signals for the end, but Jey Uso runs down for the save. Uso punches away at Reed and super kicks him out of the ring before hitting a suicide dive. In the ring, Breaker signals for the end. Punk kicks him in the face as he attempts a spear. Punk hits the GTS and covers. 1-2-3. Punk is going to SummerSlam. Winner by pinfall, CM Punk. Looks like it's CM Punk versus Gunther, and CM Punk celebrates and points to Gunther in the sweep. Gunther holds up his World Heavyweight Championship. Bronson and Reed avalanches Punk from behind. Uso runs into the fight Reed off. Uso punches him against the ropes until Breaker takes him out with a spear. Reed holds Punk up, and Breaker hits him with a spear. Paul Heyman stands on the apron and directs traffic. They stack Uso and Punk up, and Reed heads to the top rope until look who's back. Roman Reigns music hits. The OTC is back. The OTC Roman Reigns gets a huge ovation, hits the ring, and takes Reed out with a Superman punch. Reigns takes Breaker down and punches away at him. Reed pulls Reigns off, but Reigns lifts him for a Samoan drop. Reigns takes Breaker out with a Superman punch before sizing Reed up. Reed gets up and stumbles around. Reigns drops Reed with a massive spear. The crowd loudly chants OTC. This is Reigns' first appearance since Wwe Raw after WrestleMania, when he was attacked by Braun Breaker, who was joining forces with Seth Rollins. Reigns helps his cousin Jey Uso to his feet. CM Punk looks over at Reigns and gets to his feet. The crowd is loudly singing Reigns' name. This is an incredible reaction in Birmingham. Reigns points at Heyman, who is in the aisle away with Braun Breaker, and Reed. Breaker looks terrified. And Raw comes to an end at 10:35. That was some brutality tonight. Pure brutality tonight. Okay, it's 11:59 right now. I wonder what this could be up ahead for SummerSlam. Who knows? It said about CM Punk versus Gunther. Somehow, I bet you CM Punk Seth Rollins might be healed up from his leg injuries. Who knows? He probably might cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, cash in on Gunther and something like that. Who knows? But sometimes it might he might show up. The arrogant Seth Rollins probably might show up next year or something like that. But tonight was brutality. Okay, now it's 12 a.m. right now. Now it's time for something light to do. It's time for it's time for. Oh, you know what it's time for.
Get ready and
sorry, a little commercial interruption right there. All you just heard. It's time for Justin's Timeline History, all the wrestling birthdays, Timeline History, and all that stuff. All the other things are Back to the Future. Oh, yep. Celebrated its 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025, and was released on Wednesday, July 3rd, 1985. Okay, now let's go to yesterday's July the 14th. I already got July 13th because while you did my evolution video. Let's see. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on, give me 1 second, everybody. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. No technical difficulty. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Technical difficulties. Okay, now it's working. Okay, now let's get to the um um birthday birthday history and birthdays for yesterday. March yeah, July the 14th. Hold on a second. See. Okay, July the 14th. Hold on, this stupid train is driving me crazy. Again. Okay, July 14th, 1995, we lost a little Mexican wrestler. His name Rafael Salamanca. He's born on February 10th, 1932, and he died on July 14th, 1995, and he was 63 today. He was 63 at that time. 63 when he died. Okay, Jeff Jarrett, WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, he turned. Jeff Jarrett, he turned 58 yesterday. Jeff Jarrett. Bubba Ray Dudley, he turned 54 yesterday. Wwe Ray Dudley, the Dudley Boys. And Diamante turned 34. Cara Drew, better known by renamed Cherry Pie from WWE. Oh, you don't remember her. She was a Dope Deuces and Domino. She turned 50 yesterday. And let's see. Now let's see this some wrestling history today from yesterday, July the 14th. Now, let's see. July the 14th, 1985, on WWF WWE All American Wrestling. I think they're just showing highlights of everything that went down and stuff. And they're showing matches between British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith, and Dynamite Kid facing off against Bret Hart and Barry O. And a little match right here. What happened? There was a little match. Rick Martel, St. Paul's show in July 14, 1995, St. Civic Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Cowboy Lang and Little Cuckoo would defeat Little Tokyo and Laura Littlebrook. Boris Zukov defeated Baron Von Rash. Buddy Roberts and Terry Gore defeated Buck Zumhofe and Steve O. Bob Backlund defeated Larry Zbyszko. The Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, oh, what a rush, defeated Bill Oren, the Aaron Boys, for the AEW Tag Team titles. Rick the Mom Martel defeated Michael P.S. Hayes by DQ for the World Heavyweight Championship. Greg Gagne and Sergeant Slaughter Greg Gagne and Sergeant Slaughter defeated Nick Botwin and Ray Stevens. Nick Botwin and Ray Stevens by DQ. Greg Gagne and Sergeant Slaughter defeated Nick Botwin and Ray Stevens by DQ. Okay. Now let's go to pop culture for 1995. Okay, a movie called 9 Months was released in theaters, starring yeah, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, I should have mentioned that movie 9 months last Saturday. Movie 9 months with Hugh Grant last Saturday when I was doing my Saturday Night's Main Event thing. A movie called 9 months with Hugh Grant, Julianne Moore, Tom Moore, Joan Cusack, Jeff Goldblum, and the late Robin Williams. Yeah, I forgot to mention that last Saturday. Movie 9 months. Yeah. Two movies are released in theaters. My favorite movie, two movies released in Indian Cupboard, starring uh, Indian Cupboard, starring Indian Cupboard. My favorite movie, Indian Cupboard, and Under Siege Dark Territory, starring Steven Seagal. And supporting cast of the movie is Morris Chestnut. Some of you know from the movies like The Best Man, and Notice the young Captain Heigl from Desperate, from Notice the Young Housewives. I mean Captain Heigl from the TV medical drama Grey's Anatomy. Um, no, it's her was in the movie. Now let's go with some wrestling history. For July 14th, 1990. For July 14th, 2005. SmackDown. Yeah. Eddie Guerrero crosses goes too far this night, and Road Warrior Animal comes to hide and right aid, and then Tony then Undertaker attacks Muhammad Hassan's attorney because of the going to, about what's going on what about the justice in WWE, and Eddie Guerrero defeats Hardcore Holly. It's really stupid how they had brought up World Warrior Hawk's death on that night, July 14, 2005, with his big mouth. What it was, Joey Mercury. And then see some matches here. The Mexicans, Juventud, Psychosis, and Super Crazy defeated Johnny Funaki. Paul London, Sky Too Hottie. Eddie Guerrero defeated defeated Hardcore Holly. Christian defeated Booker T. Shamel Batista defeated Orlando Jordan. Christian cheated to win. Then we see JBL. Yeah, JBL hits JBL hits with a steel chair. And JBL kicks Batista in the bad knee and gets close down posing with the title as the show ends. Then we July 14, 2015. On Tough Enough. In the new WWE Tough contribution, a new competitor named Chelsea Green, annoying Chelsea Green, who joined the show immediately to begin making waves among other contestants. This episode also saw Patrick and Georgia achieve their first consecutive challenge victory, while Sarah continued to struggle, leading for frustration of Chris Jericho. Initially, a heated argument broke between Mada and Josh and Patrick following Patrick's win. Diana previously had left the competition and was replaced by Chelsea Green. It maintained challenge focus on promo skills with Gabby Catrovinci, Sarah Lee, and Tana struggling to deliver strong performance according to Wikipedia. Then on WWE, see main event. Yeah, main WWE main event. The primetime players defeated the Ascension, Connor Victor. Zack Ryder defeated Alan Rose. R-Truth defeated Bo Dallas. And on Total Divas, same day, Total Divas, same day, Total Divas, July 14, 2015. Yeah, featuring storylines Bret Hart giving Natalia advice, Daniel Garcia being asked the president of Warrior World, and Brie confiding in Nikki about her issues. Yeah, and that's it. That will do for that'll do for my show. That'll do for my review. Now I'm gonna close out something. That'll do it. I'm the Godfather Soldier Slimming. As a late Chad Henshaw used to say, I like to dress like a chubby checker. I like to dress up like a chubby checker. Drink Slant Lion and Richie. Then it's like James Brown like to get in that hot tub and sweat. Gonna make me dry. Gonna make me wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. Back in the 80s. I never grew up in the 80s. Grew up in the 90s. I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. So hope all of you good night, good afternoons, good mornings, midnight, and it's 12:21. Now I'm gonna close out some a little music for all of you tonight. So all of you know that yesterday was the happy 58th birthday of WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett. I'm gonna close out the song with My Baby Tonight, which was he did a dub voice for it, dub singing voice for it, which was only sung by the Road Dogg Jesse James. With My Baby Tonight, I know y'all remember that. For those of you that remember it, with My Baby Tonight by Road Dogg Jesse James. It wasn't Jeff Jarrett didn't sing the song. It was dubbed by Jeff. It was dubbed by the Road Dogg Jesse James, who was then known as the Roadie at that time. So hope you have a good night. Here's something to close out the show with My Baby Tonight, which was Jeff Jarrett, WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett's song. His original entrance theme. It was supposed to be used as his entrance theme music. They didn't use because it was dubbed, because it was dubbed singing voice of Jeff Jarrett of Road Dogg Jesse James, the roadie. So have a good night. And here it is to close out the show with My Baby Tonight by Jeff Jarrett by the Road Dogg Jesse James, which is Jeff Jarrett's song, dub voice. It was really sung by the Road Dogg Jesse James. Have a good morning, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace.